Today I'm going to be reading Choujin X, and I'm going to try to finish each chapter in 3 minutes or less. If I can't finish a chapter within that time, I'll have to paint a panel from said chapter, and the timer resets at the start of the next chapter. But why am I doing all this? Because I've been caught up with school lately and haven't had the time to draw or read manga. So I want to get the interest back, and I'm starting with Choujin X because I've heard lots of good things about it and I've been wanting to read it. So strap in, get your snacks guys, because today we are reading Choujin X. Let's get on with it. Ready, set, go. Start the timer. The story starts with a little girl on a plane on her way to a fair. An old woman beside her helps her pick up a fallen tomato and hears about her dreams. She's going in place of her grandfather to win the competition and live out her dream of owning a big house and marrying a blonde giga child. But as they're chatting, a guy who looks like a zombie walks up to them and asks to pass. The old lady agrees and starts fiddling with her seatbelt, but because she's too slow, the man gets angry. He starts cursing her loudly and even tries to knock her head, but the little girl stops him and says, "You're not supposed to hit old ladies." I mean, a little misguided, but she's on the right track. Then all of a sudden, the man's hand catches fire and everything starts burning. The man is smiling as half of the little girl's face burns up. Large puffs of smoke start escaping the plane as it falls, and someone is watching all this from his classroom. His name is Tokio, and boy, things are not looking up for him because his teacher catches him staring outside and starts a whole scene.
T-1 minute.
But he doesn't like school anyway. He thinks it's pointless.
T-50 seconds.
Later, on his way home, he notices a group of thugs surrounding a lady and knows she's in trouble, so he comes to her rescue.
T-30 seconds.
Just kidding. He calls his friend to come to her rescue and he arrives instantly.
T-20 seconds.
A fight breaks out immediately he arrives, 1v3. With a kick, he breaks both hands of the thug.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And that's time. I couldn't even get halfway. Let's see if I can get faster next chapter. Okay, now it's time to choose a panel to paint. This looks perfect, we'll go with this. I'll tell you the rest of the story as I paint. So like I said, he breaks both hands of a thug with a kick and they all run away. The lady thanks the boy and asks for his name. He introduces himself as Azuma and also introduces Tokio. Lord, why did the lady only thank Azuma? After she leaves, Azuma sees news of the plane crash on his phone, with info that says the culprit might be a Choujin, and from his response, we know he has no good feelings about Choujin. He even compares them to a type of insect called roly-polies that keep searching for ideal homes for themselves. In the thug's hideout, the leader is crying about his predicament with his goons by the side. He's wishing he can take revenge on Azuma and Tokio. Just then, they are approached by a lady holding a syringe filled with an unknown liquid. She tells him she can fix his arms, and we cut to Tokio's house. He has a little talk with his family and heads to his room, thinking of the earlier events. Then he's dragged back to the past by a hung photo of a vulture on the wall. Back in their younger days, Azuma was compared to a lion while he was likened to a vulture, and he was sad about that till Azuma told him how cool vultures actually are. They can fly higher than any other bird apparently. I just fact-checked that and it's true. Later on, he and Azuma arrive at the site of the plane crash and it turns out there were hundreds of survivors. They notice how weirdly the plane burned, then they leave and start walking home. And just then, Azuma gets sneak attacked by the thug with broken hands. Anymore. In fact, he seems even stronger. After a few back and forths, they start noticing something strange with the thug. His neck can grow longer and bend at ridiculous angles. He's pretty much Luffy at this point, but something is not right with him. It seems he has gone crazy because he attacks his own men soon after and pops their heads off. Tokio knows this is a do or die matter now, so he grabs Azuma and dives into the water. And when they get out, Azuma directs him to get some syringes that were conveniently laying around. Of course, Tokio is scared, but he sees the determined look in Azuma's eyes and remembers the past of Azuma saving him from bullying and recruiting him to help in fighting bad guys. Then he also grabs a syringe and they inject each other. By this time the flexy Choujin thug catches up to them and yo, what is this panel? Kuro is hit and we see feathers from God knows where, and you know it's smoke from here on. The flexy thug is sent to the moon and we see Tokyo's full Choujin form, bestial Choujin, approaching Azuma. And that's the end of chapter 1.
This is the colored panel. How does it look? And now let's see if I can get faster and finish chapter 2 under 3 minutes. Ready, set, start the timer.
So Ellie grew up in a village in the mountains. Ellie, the little girl, by the way. Yes, she survived the crash. She grew up in the mountains and relied on farming to become a little popular in her village. Right now, she wakes up in what looks like a construction site and can't recall how she got there. She asks a worker to lead her out, and just as he agrees, he's engulfed by flames. It's the smoke Choujin again, and he asks if he can escort her. He can tell jokes. She picks race immediately, hopping from building to building, and finally into the street.
T-minus 2 minutes.
With a roller boy yeah she got... Bro, what are these names? With a roller boy yeah she got off a boy, she tears down the street. But coming in right behind her, on his own roller boy yeah is Smoke-chan. After more chasing, she switches to a tractor while the smoke Choujin recruits a biker gang.
T-minus 1 minute.
And the chase continues again. At this point, Ellie is just frustrated about how bizarre the situation is and goes off-road.
T-minus 40 seconds.
The smoke Choujin, Chandra, Humes, and the bikers follow.
T-minus 30 seconds.
And get run over by a truck.
T-minus 20
And Mr.
seconds.
Humes is literally knocked out of his shoes. But Ellie also goes flying off a cliff and plunges down.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
Luckily there's water below.
3,
Well,
2,
not for
1,
everyone.
0.
So this is where I reached in 3 minutes, about 2/3 of the way there. Seems like I'll have to bump up the time a little for the next ones. Now it's time to choose a panel again. Last one took a lot of time and effort, so this time I'll choose an easier one. The people that do this professionally are trying. Yeah, this panel looks simple and intense. Let's go with it. As usual, I'll finish the story as I paint.
So when Ellie lands, she sees smoke coming from her fingertips and grabs an object to injure herself. I don't know what she's thinking, but I can literally feel the pain from this panel. A huge cloud of smoke fills everywhere and Ellie collapses. And Humes appears again. Seems like this was all planned to recruit her or make her a Choujin or some. He introduces himself and offers to teach her everything about her powers. But obviously she refuses because come on. And Humes loses it again and wants to teach her a lesson. But someone has other plans. The person makes him retreat and tells Ellie how people like the Smoke Choujin target people like her with aptitude. From the silhouette, I see the mega chin and eyelashes. Don't tell me it's her dream man. Nah. Nah, Sensei Ishida is having fun with this one. Love the humor. The guy is a Choujin called Hoshi. Meanwhile, back at Tokyo's house, he still doesn't know how to go back to normal. Is this his new life?
And that's the end of chapter 2. How exciting. Have a look at the final results. Hard or not? Okay, now I'll try to finish the third chapter in 4 minutes. I'm already down 2-0. Do you think I can make a 3-2 comeback? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, start the timer. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
T-minus 4 minutes.
So Tokio carries Azuma to the hospital to get him treated. But on the way there, Azuma wakes up and looks defeated after seeing Tokio's transformation. He decides to go to the hospital alone and tells Tokio to go home. For their safety, he has to hide the fact that he's a Choujin till he can transform back to normal. So they split off there and Azuma goes to the
3
hospital
minutes.
while Tokio goes home. Next day he starts his life as a Choujin, hiding from his family and taking a sick leave from school. This is his life now. That reality dawns on him and he starts crying his eyes out.
T-minus 2
Then he
minutes.
calls to check up on Azuma, but he receives no replies. So when he can, he sneaks out and comes to Azuma's house to check up on him, since he hasn't been answering his calls or texts. And when Azuma answers, you can tell there's been a shift in his disposition. He seems broken, depressed, and lost.
T-minus 1 minute.
Tokio tries to get his opinions about ways to turn back.
T-minus 50 seconds. T
But
minus
he
40
yells at Tokyo to
seconds.
think for himself and even makes him cry.
T minus 30 seconds.
I think Azuma is just disappointed that he couldn't also become a Choujin. Sad. Next we get to Long
T
Neck,
minus
the
20
Flexi
seconds.
Choujin. He's asked where the other 2 syringes are and says 2 kids used them. He says one had a beak.
10, 9, 8, 7,
But at least
6,
he had some honor at the
5,
end and didn't sell them out
4,
completely by giving them
3,
names.
2, 1, 0.
Ah!
I almost did it, just one more page to go. My phone lag messed me up at the start. But no worries, I came so close, I'll get it next time. 4 minutes is the perfect time to go for.
So now to look for a nice, easy panel. I'm looking for one with some type of impact or emotional charge. Something cool. And I think I found it. This emotional scene right after Azuma wakes up and sees Tokyo's transformation. I would have said I'll complete the story as I paint, but it's just one more page to go.
So after the Flexi Choujin refused to say their names, he is released. Not let go, released. And the masked person repeats the info they got. A beak and a mask. End of chapter 3.
So I'm done painting. This is the end result. What do you think? Leave it in the comments and rate each colored panel from 0 to 10 with a timestamp. Now, time to attack chapter 4. Let's get the timer ready. 3, 2, 1, go!
T minus 4 minutes.
So after getting yelled at by Azuma and leaving, Tokyo thinks about how he's always been following Azuma all his life, never deciding on anything by himself. Then he randomly finds some new partners to talk to. Birds. Yeah, literally 2 pigeons. And what do you know, they actually talk back. Even bro was surprised like, huh? Somehow, because of his Choujin powers, he can communicate with them. And so they give him this advice to think like Azuma. And that gets Tokio thinking for himself and coming up with all sorts of ideas to try.
T minus
So he
3
thanks the
minutes.
birds while looking like a complete nut job to the girls around. And that's how his trials start from then on. Every second is spent on trying to control his powers. And then he strikes gold. Why not go to the zoo and observe a real vulture? And that's exactly what he does. He goes back to the same zoo he went to in the flashback of chapter 1, but it's closed. He meets a girl there and of course gets intimidated, talking about some.
T-minus 2
That's the type of
minutes.
girl I could never talk to. I mean, I can't blame him. What type of pose is this? I'll be scared too. Anyway, she manages to convince him to break into the zoo with her, and since he's also eager to see a vulture, he agrees. But whole time he's scared and regretting it. The girl takes him around the zoo, telling him about the animals and stuff. And then they get to the reptile. She pushes him towards a snake and jokes around, but she's a little weird. She talks with snakes. Weirdo! While they look for the bird section, Tokio goes into full overthinking mode before they finally reach.
T minus 1 minute.
And when they get to see the vulture, something weird happens.
T
The girl
minus
gets
50
so close to
seconds.
Tokyo's face, talking about how he's kind of cute. Stand down, soldier. It's a trap. Tokyo is excited, thinking about how she's going to be his first kiss when
T
she
minus
swallows
40
him.
seconds.
I almost forgot it's Sensei Ishida's work. It's reminiscent of Tokyo Ghoul, girl leading a boy on just to reveal her true color, or rather, true body later on. Still hits as hard as the first time though. And done.
That's it. Finished with 30 seconds on the clock. One win for me finally. This time, since I finished on time, I don't have to paint a panel. So we'll just head straight to the last chapter of this video. Chapter 5.
T minus 4 minutes.
So we see the guy that released the Flexi Choujin, giving the description of Tokyo's Choujin to the weird girl from the last chapter. The girl has Tokyo in her maws at this point and flings him away. When he sees her appearance, his soul leaves his body and he starts to run away. Her upper body transformed completely into a snake. Unfortunately, he's still caught and she reveals that she's been looking for him. At this point, you'd think she's just going to get it over with and release him. But she actually says she's going to test him to see if he can be recruited. First, Ellie, now Tokyo. Seems like Choujin are really sought after by everyone. Anyway, he gets 3 tries to escape from her. If he can escape successfully, he gets to keep his life. And if he can't, you already know.
T minus 3 minutes.
Ten seconds on the clock, he starts running. When the girl counts to 10, she starts chasing. She catches up to him almost instantly. The disrespect of your opponent educating you while beating you. Bro literally has no chance. He's caught. Round 2, he goes off running again, but he's too slow. He remembers how he was also slow when he was
T-minus
younger,
2
and it was
minutes.
Azuma who was fast and got all the wins. He's caught again and held up to the girl's mouth and injected with venom. This is the third and final race. If he can't win, she will release him. And if he can win, the venom will still release him. Literally no way out. At this point, he falls and completely loses it, letting out a scream for help. Meanwhile, the girl is coming closer while talking shit to him. Well, not shit, the truth actually. Time for his final goodbye. Just then, they hear a loud sound and see something in the air. It's a bird! It's a plane! No, it's Smoke and Ellie!
T-minus 1
And
minute.
just like that, Tokio and Ellie come face to face for the first time. End of chapter 5.
So I finished that with 50 seconds to spare. Honestly, it got way easier after the first chapter. I think for the second part of this video, I'll just take the time back to 3 minutes. Anyway, the final score is 3-2. I finished only 2 chapters within that time frame. Here are the 3 colored panels. Putting together this little challenge video took me about 4 days without editing, and it has really made me excited to read more of this manga. If you haven't started this manga, this is your sign to start it now. I'm really thankful you watched the video all the way here. Thank you, and remember, Jesus loves you. If you would like more parts to this video, comment another one. Thanks for watching. Ban Crew out. Ciao. Love from Nigeria gang.